Hello and welcome back to yet another episode of Make It a Double Double. As you can see, it's the biggest guest we've had so far. We told you we've been bringing the content this year. We had a step back last week with James, but we're stepping it back up this week. We've got, it has to be said, the king of Sorare content, Mr. John Nellis himself. How are we, pal?
Great, thank you so much for having me. I always cringe a wee bit when I get intros like that. It's still the imposter syndrome stuff, but yeah, I've been doing this thing for quite a while now. So thanks for having me, lads.
Yeah, absolutely. It's lovely to have you. But we'll treat you like anybody else. So
Please,
the first question, as always, is what have you ordered for us at the Sorare Saloon? What drinks have you got for us?
alcoholic or non-alcoholic first.
Always alcoholic first. These two need their
Okay,
drinks. They're
so
absolutely gagging.
I felt a bit bad when I said this because I don't know what it's like for you boys getting your hands on it, and I've also kind of made a bit of a bollocks because I don't have a Guinness glass. I've got a harp glass, which is like a Northern Irish lager, but I just kept it real. I'm like, Guinness, I don't really drink Guinness in the house. It has to be said. I don't drink cans of Guinness in the house. I get flashbacks when I see these cans because my dad would have sent me to the fridge to get them. My phone's not muted. My dad would have sent me to the fridge to get them when I was just a boy, back when I didn't like it. But now I'm a converted Guinness drinker in the bar. Like that's my pint. So Guinness has to be.
We've
Nice.
had Guinness a couple of times, haven't we?
Yeah,
Yep.
McBride, I think, was Guinness.
McBride had a Guinness, yeah, and got through about six in the
But yeah,
episode, I think. So
to be fair, like before the episode with McBride, I was never a huge fan of Guinness, but it's kind of converted me a little bit. And I think, like we said the other day, we've had some quite fancy and testing drinks recently with Laird with his somewhat of a cocktail, and then
Haber getting us to get the blender out.
Haber had us
Yeah.
with the blender out, and then we had Irish
Pretentious
coffee.
wankers.
Yeah, we had Irish coffees as
Oh,
well
yeah.
with Parrot Press, and I was here whipping double
I was going to
cream.
say,
So,
in fairness, it's because you decide to do it to a different like Aaron just got the simple one. You're there whipping up your own cream while we do it.
but like I said when James said, it's nice to just get a nice, easy drink.
Yeah.
I feel like you've gone full missionary with this drink. It's nothing fancy, but gets the
But
job done.
this is the thing. People who try and play it too fancy when it comes to this stuff, who do they think they are?
There's the
I mean, like
the can crack.
4 boys, 4 Guinnesses. I'm Irish. It is literally just the alcoholic drink of choice. It's the one that best defines me as a man. So it's what we're going with.
There we go. And what about for me, non-alcoholic?
So I went with something that I drink every single day in this house. I say in this house. I've recently moved into this house and stocked up on this because I saw it on offer in Tesco. But it's my favorite, like, day-to-day drink. I used to love it's Robinson's, like, it's called like fruit and barley, and they used to have this apple and pear one, which tasted exactly like Porky Pig ice lollies.
Oh yeah,
Phenomenal.
Percy pigs.
Porky Pigs. Are
Oh,
they
not
Percy
the
Pigs?
Percy pigs are
What the? Am I thinking? Are they different?
The wee
You're
guy
thinking-
off like Looney Tunes or something. It's like a pig and it's like a pear,
Oh
an apple. Not the Percy Pigs out of M&S.
no,
You boys
I know
are
what you
too
mean.
bougie.
I know what you mean.
No, this is it's like an ice lolly. Anyway, it tastes like it's a pear and apple, and it was my favorite, but they discontinued it, so I moved over to Summer Fruits, which is a beautiful cordial. I've got both here, and
Well, this was the easiest one for me because in my prized possession, you can't really see his face anymore because he's going on for 11 years old. But in my my Marco Royce Cup from the
I actually
Westfalen Stadion, he fruit and barley summer fruits is also my drink of choice if I'm trying to cut back on Coke Zero, which is often.
really.
Yeah,
Is this
so
like not unique over in Ireland? Like
I've
you,
not had to go out and buy this. I already had it.
oh, I feel like a bit of a disappointment there.
I
Honestly,
was buzzing.
this isn't that popular here, by the way. This is my like little hidden secret. I thought you'd be like, "Oh, this is banging, John. I can't believe you've introduced this to me." But anyway,
I thought
Yeah.
you were going to go down the road of adding your fruit and barley to the Guinness to make like a Guinness Black.
okay. I could have got you Guinness Zero.
You could.
That would have been full missionary.
Aaron would have hated that. Aaron would have hated that.
I wonder if we were recording on the weekend, Thursday at night. It'd probably
Yes,
been on. All right.
yeah.
I actually had them for the first time the other day, and you wouldn't even know it's 0%. It tastes
Really?
exactly like a normal Guinness. Yeah,
That sounds like my worst nightmare because it all tastes terrible. So the fact that you don't even get pissed on the other side of it
yeah.
must be
I have a
horrendous.
I have a question about it though. Is this being a good friend or being a terrible friend? I was away with the boys recently. It wasn't a stag, but it was that type of vibe. And one of the lads was like absolutely gone at about 3 o'clock in the day. And the round was like 5 Guinnesses. But we got 4 Guinnesses and a Guinness Zero and just didn't tell him. Is that being a good
Oh
friend
no.
or is that being a
I think
shit
that's a
friend?
good. I think that's a good friend
I think that's good, friend.
Yeah,
It
he didn't
depends how
know.
because
he's
it's
treated you in the past. If he's treated you like he would do
Mm.
you, I'd have been like, yeah, screw him. But if he's a
there
nice
is
bloke,
that.
he's doing him a favour.
Stick a vodka in it, bury him.
Yeah. Make it worse. Get him in bed by 4.
Well, we will bring it back briefly round to Sorare. We do have to,
You
yeah,
know?
quick cheers, but we'll bring it back very briefly to Sorare like we always do. The normal question, John, is how did someone get into Sorare? But for you, the main thing that like I wanted to know and the boys wanted to know is how did you get into Sorare from a content perspective?
Mm.
What did you see in the game that you thought this is like where I'm going now?
I think I started So Rare, I don't know, September 2020, I think it was, so like 3.5 years ago. Quinny had been on to me for months, and I met Quinny through Football Index, which is an absolute horror story. But I started making Football Index content first, and then moved into like Footstock, which was like another kind of. It was more like So Rare than Football Index was. You'd buy player cards and play them. It was just it wasn't really capped, and they over minted. They didn't have NFT technology, but it ended up falling and dying as well. It was actually crippled because Football Index died, and then no one would touch Footstock from like a legislation or whatever investment standpoint. But anyway, all that I was making that content, and I think I'd like put out a So Rare tutorial or two. I can't really remember. I put out one beginner's tutorial for So Rare in like 2021, and it just kind of caught the algorithm. And it kind of became the beginner's tutorial that people found if they typed So Rare help, So Rare tutorial in YouTube. Like for me at the time, I maybe had 400, 500, 600, 1,000 subscribers in YouTube, and was getting a few hundred views a video. But that one went over the course of the year to do 50,000 views or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But that kind of showed me whenever it went out the gate, and then the Gary V boom and all this, and when it was getting all the traction, I was like, wait, there's a lot of interest here, and this is global, and this is like more legit, and this is whatever. And I pivoted from like my Football Indexy Footstock content to So Rare. It was also because I just genuinely enjoyed the game a lot more.
Yeah.
I thought the game was amazing. I thought the match day experience and watching your players, every action counted. It was really fun. Um, and then I just kind of ran with it and just started making more and more and more So Rare content. And proper just made So Rare content for maybe a year and a half, 2, 3, 4 videos a week. That's not quite where I'm at now, but that's how I got into it. And just kept the foot in the throat for a couple of years, really. Don't know if that
Well,
answers the question, but
yeah, no, lovely. I mean, you've sort of led me onto it there a little bit. You've said that's not where you are now because obviously you've moved more into just football content rather than
yeah.
the actual game aspect of it. How have you found that transition? Because obviously you've built up, like you said, you already had like a good amount of followers to start with, but then you've really amassed like a significant following
Yeah.
through your So Rare content. How have you found that transition into just normal football content?
It's so weird because I feel like I can't. I feel talking about myself, particularly in this, where like it has been a success. It's such a weird like tightrope you're walking of sounding like a wanker and patting yourself in the back and sucking yourself off, versus like just talking about what's happened. And like what kind of happened was I was making So Rare content exclusively and had 3, 4 thousand subscribers, whatever it was, and was still making exclusively So Rare content, but got in bed with a guy called Alex Henry, and me and him just work. We've been a dream team now in my mind for like 2 years. We've worked. I talk to him way too much every day, all the time. We're just we double act. Really, I'm just happen to be the guy on camera, but through him, it was probably 2022 whenever we really, or maybe 2022 when we were really making a lot of So Rare content. 3, 4 videos a week, bespoke thumbnails on them all, edited the whole shebang. Um, and it got to like June, and Fantasy Football Hub approached us, and we went over and managed their channel. Long story short, it kind of became full time for me. I quit my job in air traffic control whenever I looked at it today. It was like 7,431 subscribers, and I didn't have an Instagram presence and didn't have a TikTok. That's when we quit the job and both went at it. And what kind of happened in the following 6 months made that decision much, much easier, because when I say I quit my job, Alex quit his job and I went to reduced hours. I went to half hours, but we started doing short form at the like August 2022 or something. And it just caught it just caught. And then the World Cup, Messi World Cup, the whole shebang, perfect timing, hundreds of millions of views, and everything just went nuclear. I quit my job finally on the 24th of October 2022 at 2 months' notice, which meant I could walk out on Christmas Eve and be done. I planned it. They tried to roster for me for Christmas, and I was like, nah, I'm done. So handed in my notice 2 months before that. But walked out, and between me handing my notice in and having the 2 months, I went from like 25,000 subscribers to like 200k because the World Cup was so successful. But that's to give you an idea of the journey. Ultimately, this year has just been, 2023 and the start of this year has just been growing and growing and growing in that. But now it's very much one of those where Sorare is absolutely where this journey started. But right now, the priority, and everyone can probably, I say everyone can see it. Anyone who has followed my Sorare content for the last couple of years can see the Sorare channel isn't the priority. I'm not 4 videos a week. I do a reward up and I'll do a lineup builder. I'll do a couple of videos here and there. But it's so weird because like when something goes from like passion / hobby / side hustle to like, no, this is just my full-time job and I have editors to pay and mortgages to pay, and like this is my income now. Like your energy has to go where you're making the money, and my main channel makes the money, so that's where my energy goes. Sorare still the wee side hustle thing, but whenever it's the main channel takes all my time 9 to 5 Monday to Friday, and the Sorare channel now that was the side hustle, or that was the side hustle that was the main thing. Now it's like, okay, are you going to make a Sorare video, or are you going to go and spend time with your girlfriend? It's like, no, it's the bit that has to give. I can't give the time that goes into the short that gets 3 million views or gets 200,000 views. The thing that has to give is the reward opener that gets 2,000 views. Does that make sense? It's kind of that's where we're at.
I actually met Alex back in November, I think.
Oh, cool.
Sorare gave us some tickets to Man City Liverpool, and I rocked up, and Quinny was there with his mate, and Alex was there with his missus. So yeah, he's a real nice guy actually. He said he was the brains of the operation, and you were just the face, John.
I agree. Yeah, no,
Well,
he's done all right in Sorare too. He won a signed Borussia Dortmund shirt. Oh, he did we Borussia Dortmund stack, and he's had a few wee things, moments of success on Sorare. So yeah, he definitely has the brains. He's probably better at Sorare than me too.
Well, speaking of me in the face, go on, Az.
I was going to say, whilst we're on the topic of videos, did anyone see Royal Livy's video that he posted today?
No.
Royal Livy was one of our previous guests, and he's a bit of a funny bastard, to be fair. And he's done a video today, and he's titled it "How to Make Money Off Your Friends on Sorare."
I seen it.
But
Did
then the
So
whole,
Rare retweet it?
I think so, yeah. And like the whole concept is him trying to get his mate to talk about Sorare, and his mate does not give a shit, and it is so relatable. It is untrue. He's like, his mate's going, "Oh, I subbed in for them this week, and he scored in FPL." And he goes, "Well, he's actually in my Sorare lineup, and he got me 60 points because of his goal." And he's like, "I don't really care, mate. Like, I don't really care." He's like, "Yeah, but I can make money this week." He's like, "I don't care about Sorare. Like, shut up." And he's just nagging life of him, and it is. I'd recommend anyone to go watch it. It's only like 3 minutes long. It is hilarious. Such a good video.
Well, my Burnley collection has finally paid off. So this, and I don't mean I've won anything from it, because we are dog shit, so I've not won anything from it. But this will have gone out afterwards. But I got an email off Mo, who let me read you the email, because bear in mind Mo has been a guest on the podcast. I've met Mo. Mo knows me. I know Mo. And I got an email. Hey mate, hope you're doing well. I'm Momo, working on the community team at Sorare. Nice to meet you.
He has no impact on you. You've got no impact on him whatsoever.
Does not remember me whatsoever.
Obviously not as memorable
Absolutely fine.
as you think.
Not as memorable as you, mate. You two are best mates. Oh, Mark, do you want some tickets? Mark, do you want some tickets? But
don't look a gift horse in the mouth, mate.
This
That's
is
what
true.
my mum always said.
But it says, I saw that you're a big collector of Burnley cards, and we've got an opportunity for an experience at the Burnley Arsenal game this Saturday. So, courtesy of Sorare, I will be for the first time in 17, maybe 18 years. I'll be in a box
Staying
at
for 90
Burnley.
minutes. Oh,
Which
wow. I thought you were saying staying for
there's
40.
still not. Listen, if it's 6-0, I'm still not staying for the 90 minutes. There's absolutely no chance.
I was going to say, does Sorare put a prerequisite in there that you've got to stay for 90, or are you going to fuck up on 80 as usual?
Well, listen, I'll be there 2.5 hours early, so that makes up for it. But speaking of, so my friend who I go to the games with, she's a massive Burnley fan. Never been in the box before, so I've said I'm taking her, and then to my cousin and his son who plays Sorare. And I've been trying to get her to play Sorare for maybe 2.5 years. I've been trying to get her boyfriends, but I'm like, oh, you were on Football Index. Imagine Football Index, but it's good. And I've been trying and trying. And she literally messaged me today. She went, I'm still not fucking playing Sorare. I was like,
She
I'm not.
shouldn't be going anywhere near that box then, if I'm honest, mate. She shouldn't be sticking foot in that box. Until she buys a card using your referral link, she shouldn't go anywhere near that VIP box.
I literally said to her, I was like, all I want you to do, just play me in Rivals this week. That's all I want. Don't buy any cards. Just play me in Rivals, and I'm going to get her hooked. She's going to play it. We're going to do it. But this is obviously going out after Burnley have beat Arsenal 4-0. So that's exciting. Big result for the Clarets, and I love that. But realistically, what score do you think we'll be talking about next time we come onto the podcast?
I don't know. It's got to be an Arsenal win. Sorry, mate.
At the time of recording right now, they have just pummeled West Ham 6-0.
Yeah. It's not looking good, Brev, is it? It's really not looking good.
It's really not. It's really not. But hopefully I'll have some nice food and a nice experience to wash away the pain. More importantly, John,
Arsenal.
do you know what? I'd bite your hand off for 3-0 right now. I'd bite your hand off. They've scored the most goals in the league from corners. We've conceded the most in the league from corners. So put your house on Arsenal scoring off a corner.
Those kind of stats go out window though, because they're the ones that betting companies love, because they'll advertise that all week saying Arsenal score every corner,
True.
Burnley concede every corner, and you won't concede one this week.
We've got Flappy James Trafford back now. He's had his few good games. He's back to flapping at him. But John, you said, well, Marc said actually that you were the face of the operation. So talked about you like it's a 9 to 5 for you now, and like it's your full-time job. How much of that full-time job goes into maintaining your beard?
Oh Jesus! Like, the big thing I'm terrible at maintaining my appearance. I'm growing a mullet at the minute. You can't really see it unless I bring it over. See the wall.
It's a bold choice.
I think it's nearly goodbye time, but like I need to put more work into my appearance. I really do. The beard, I don't know. It's just naturally kind of it works. I don't know. Do you know if you see my beard in the flesh, it's pretty shit. People always mention my beard. I'd say my beard's quite patchy. Do you want to be exclusive on my beard?
Yes.
I want to out myself, I guess.
100%.
Big bald patch right here.
Oh, you've just covered it up well.
It's a comb over.
That's like one of these guys I've only got hair at the back and it all comes forward.
Yeah, I do that with my beard.
I don't think I've ever seen someone have a comb over for their beard before.
Hey, you got like the Bobby Charlton, but upside down.
Yeah, literally.
As you'd like to be able to comb over, wouldn't you? You've not even got enough to do that.
Mate, look at the state of this. He hasn't been doing this for about 4 years.
Are we calling me Az or Bevo this week?
Bevo, honestly, we can't keep mentioning that he looks like Bevo because it makes me fucking piss me out so funny.
It makes me want to
so funny that you actually do like
on Twitter, right? Hoodwink will not let it go either. It's fucking brilliant. Every week.
Officially, my worst enemy. Like, I actually despise the man. He literally, every time I tweet anything he replies about Bevo, he's a prick, and I don't like him.
When you came to the wedding, I was desperately hoping that you'd get some of the food in the evening. I was just going to watch you. I was just going to watch you like a hawk and see if you could actually swallow your food.
Just
because if you struggled for a second, I would have been on you.
I'm not having it.
As we've spoke about me being shit and Burnley being shit, but Huddersfield, mate, flying at the minute. Yeah, well, I say flying. You threw away 3-goal game against Southampton in about 4 minutes. But
Second
that were
best team.
nearly 4 days ago now, mate. How did you get on last night?
We actually were the better team as well. We
Were you really?
yeah, and that Leeds scum Jack Clark couldn't get out of Matty Pearson's pocket, which was unbelievable to see. Joe Bellingham isn't fit to be Jude Bellingham's brother. If I'm honest, he's absolutely useless. But yeah, we played really well, mate. And we've got Hull at home, nice derby at the weekend. So winning that, I think we're
Is
pretty
that a
set.
derby?
Hull and Huddersfield, of course it is. It's a Yorkshire derby.
Is it really? Oh, I didn't realise they were that close. Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
I only ever
Yeah.
see. 'Cause I don't like. You know when you talk about like derbies, like your derby for me is Leeds.
Oh yeah, that's
Like
the big one.
that's the one I think of. It's like when people say, "Oh, Burnley versus Preston." That's like I couldn't care less about Preston. It's Blackburn. They're the only ones that I give a shit about, and they've not beat us in like 14 years now, which is wonderful.
But who's
You just
counting?
mentioned, yeah, me. I'm counting because they counted for 36 years. It took us to beat them. No one cared that we weren't in the same league for 25 of those 36 years, but that doesn't matter. Just mentioned Jude Bellingham very briefly on the back of Job, and obviously today that we're recording, Kylian Mbappe has announced that him and PSG will be parting ways at the end of this season. Where do you think he goes?
I don't know, until they grace his palm with some more money.
Do you think that's what it is? Do you think it's the classic?
This has happened
Oh, I'm
every
leaving.
transfer window
Yeah.
for the last 3 years, has it?
Yeah, he keeps teasing leaving, and then they give him more money, and then he stays, and all that sort of stuff. But if he does go, Real Madrid, surely.
Has
Do you
to
know
be.
what? I thought you were going to say Liverpool.
It was on the tip of my tongue. It was on the tip of my tongue because there is potential for Salah still to go to Saudi for big money at the end of the season.
Oh, there is, but you're never having Mbappe.
He's still
when
not
he's
signing
playing for any club
Mbappe.
or not.
Yeah.
I think this time it's legit personally, because like the comment from
Yeah.
PSG is to something to do with they're saving 200 million a year by not having him, and they're going to invest it into the youth and the system at there to build their own team and their own youth system and things like that, which makes more sense than having 200 mil a year in a player that don't want to be there. Like it's just
the way they've been playing football for the last 5-6 years is like it's not sustainable. Like at least with Man City, the way that they've done it is the owners have invested a significant amount of money into the academy, the facilities, Manchester as a city, and now you look like
squad as a whole as well.
Yeah, we bought Trafford for 20 million. Ajax bought Carlos Borges for 25 million. Calvin Phillips, I know he's not obviously through the academy, but obviously he's just gone. Like they make their money from their players, whereas PSG, I feel like they just buy and buy and buy.
Cole Palmer, how much did he go from City?
65 was it in the end?
Yeah, he was a big amount.
Yeah, but like with PSG, they've got some players that come through. Like you look at who's the young lad that plays. Yeah, Xavi Simons, he was there.
Zaire
Emery. Yeah, and he looks a great player.
Is it
You just
Bradley
don't see it.
Bradley Barkler as well? Is he?
They've just signed him, though, haven't they? They've signed
They
him
signed
from
him from
Leon.
Leon, wasn't it? But I mean, they had
Yeah,
like
he is.
Nkunku and Coman and
Yeah.
Diaby and all sorts like from their
Yeah, they've had
academy.
all sorts
They
through
just
their
let them
academy.
go.
Yeah, it's like United with Pogba, but with every single player, where they let him go and then they'll end up signing him back for big money. But if he does go to Real Madrid, are they back to being the Galacticos?
They've got to be the best team in the world.
Yeah,
because Jude Bellingham and Kylian Mbappe
and
in the
Vinny
same
Jr.
team. Vinny Jr., Rodrigo.
You can't even argue the Man City side of it, because once KDB leaves that team, I think that they will struggle to be the final of every cup, the top of the league maintaining. Because I think he is just the man to play through, and you can see a difference when he's not there. So I think when KDB goes, or if his injuries get too much, Man City will drop off a bit and give people a chance. So
yeah,
I think the scary part about Real Madrid, particularly with Mbappe, even without Mbappe, the thing that I think is just frightening is like Vinicius Junior he's not on is anyone on Mbappe's level, but like he's on that level if you're talking top 5 players in the world or whatever. But like Rodrigo, insane. Bellingham, insane. Behind that, Camavinga, Tchouaméni, and then you're
Yeah.
going to throw Mbappe into that. You're looking at a front sort of, well, midfield plus front, six players
like a
there.
front
Exclude the defense,
six, yeah.
six. You're looking at that six for a decade. Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and they're only
Crazy.
gonna get better. It's actually crazy because there's the Cruises and the Modriches and the Casemiros. Haven't even mentioned Valverde.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Casemiro's at United. What am I on about? That's like what do you call it?
Muscle memory.
Repetitive muscle memory. Casemiro,
Yeah.
Madrid. No, he's not there. But you know what I mean. It's just like the players you're not mentioning, like Valverde, are just as frightening. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Courtois, they haven't even had him in goal this year
No, it's been.
No,
Is it
yeah,
Lunin?
Lunin,
because he's
yeah.
been injured.
Yeah.
Ain't
Yeah.
Lunin like 20 as well, or 21 or something? So he's only
Yeah.
like,
He's only young.
he's like a U23 as well.
So talking about that, like that six as like a potential to be like getting better for a decade. Do you think the peak in football has changed? So like classically, you think of like someone at their like a midfielder at his peak is what, like 28, 20, like they're just getting up to the top of their 20s, and that's when they're at their peak. For forwards, maybe a bit younger because of pace. Goalkeepers obviously a bit older. Do you think, like, you see so many talented players now coming through and hitting heights at a young age? Do you think the peak age of a footballer has changed?
I don't think necessarily the peak has changed. The peak is just expected to be longer. Whereas, like, when a player was 23, 24, 10, 15, 20 years ago, you'd still look at it and go, oh, he's quite a young player. He's still growing. He's still got a lot to learn, all that sort of stuff. Whereas players nowadays are expected to learn all that in their teens and are expected to be classed by the age of 21. And they're expected to sustain that level until they're 30 years old. I think they're still at their peak at 27, 28, but I just think their peak is expected to be longer.
So do you think
they're
they get to the
also,
peak earlier and then plateau?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think it's media coverage as well and like social media. Because like as soon as you see anyone that's a teenager play football, you instantly go future star.
Yeah,
Where,
wonder kid. Yeah.
yeah, you don't even give him a chat. Look at that, like, is it Miley he's called at
Lewis
Newcastle?
Miley. Yeah.
And he's been class. Like he's 17 years old and he's walking around the Premier League games looking like he's just going to be there forever. But he has one bad season, everyone's going to write him off.
Yeah.
It's like he's 17, 18 year old. So I don't think it's the age. I think people just expect so much so quick now because everyone compares every game through social media and media outlets and stuff like that rather than just letting
Well,
them play football.
your perfect example is Conor Bradley, because he's had,
Yeah.
realistically, what has he had? 3 good games,
Yeah.
and now he's all of a sudden he's better than Trent
Yeah,
Alexander-Arnold.
people talk as if he's displacing
Move,
Trent.
yeah, exactly. Move Trent into midfield because Conor Bradley's here now. He's
Yeah.
had 3 good games at 17. Like, he could quite easily not play again for the rest of the season, or be perfectly fine because he's a 17-year-old in the Premier League.
Yeah, it's the way that fans talk about those players. Like previously, after a few games, like you say, players don't really consider them part of the first team setup for a long period of time. Whereas they play 3 good games now. Conor Bradley, Jarrell Kwanzaa, they come in, play a few good games, and then already they're, when players are looking at who's injured and who's not, it's like, oh well, we got Conor Bradley out. He's he's on compassionate leave and all
Big
this sort of
miss,
stuff.
yeah.
Big miss for us, and it never used to be like that. It's just that he's played 3 good games. Great player though. Let's not take that away from him.
Yeah.
But there's already calls because Trent is going to be out of the Carabao Cup final
Has he done his knee again?
next Sunday. Yeah,
For
Trent's
3
out.
weeks, haven't they?
Yeah, so people are already calling for Bradley to be thrown in there ahead of Gomez and stuff. Well, Gomez has played quite well, to be fair.
I don't like swearing, but Leeds have got a player called Archie Gray.
Yeah.
And
Right back.
he's a centre mid, but they've been playing him right back. And
Yeah.
because he's been so good this season, all the rumours are 50 million in summer. 50 million
It's
in summer.
crazy.
I've had half a season playing well in Championship. You're not a 50 mil player. I'm sorry, I
And
don't care.
it's half a season playing well in the Championship for one of the best teams in the Championship.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the same as like playing well for Rotherham. Do you know what I mean? Like, if
Yeah,
there was
yeah.
a player for Rotherham who came through and all of a sudden he looks like a world beater, that would catch my attention.
Yeah.
It's like what's the other lad that's absolutely ripping it up for Leeds?
Somerville.
Somerville.
Yeah, Somerville. great player, looks an absolute world beater. But last year, he couldn't even get a game in the Prem. He's come down to the Championship and he's absolutely annihilating it. Fair play. Granted, he's only 20, whatever he is. He looks great, but the English media is insane when it comes to young footballers and young talent.
In general, we just hype everything up straight away.
Has any country in the history of football had more golden generations than England?
With zero.
I think we're on my sixth one.
Question, and I don't know the answer to this. Do you think that's just because like we have the English media and that we think that's the case? Do you think the Spanish media think that their media crucify their players? Do you think the German media think it's about theirs?
I suppose we can't say. We don't know if like the Spanish
media. We're not following the German media and how they treat Florian.
That's very true.
You know what I mean? So
that is very true.
I think the only thing I would say is that I think it has been recorded with foreign players coming to England have said that the British media and the tabloids are horrendous in comparison to like La Liga and when they've played in Serie A or Bundesliga. They say it's the next level over here, don't they, in terms of media coverage. So
yeah.
I suppose the Premier League is the biggest league globally, so you're getting it globally.
Yeah.
And the global tabloids and global news outlets probably take it from the source, which will be English.
True.
Which are probably quite negative and a lot of pressure.
Now, I've got a big question for you, John. You talked very briefly about you don't like talking about yourself, the imposter syndrome and things. How close have you come, or have you, to dropping the old, do you know who I am?
He's done it. Look at him.
No.
He's definitely done
it. Look how many subscribers I've
got. I'll tell you what I have done. So I was away, completely unrelated. So I actually on this so I'm at this level now where it's you can. I'm not big enough that everyone's like, holy shit, or let's give this guy loads of free stuff. But I'm at the level now where if you ask for the free stuff, you'll probably get it. Maybe. But it means you have to ask for it, which is fucking awkward. But I was in the Maldives. I went bougie. Last October, me and my girlfriend went 2 weeks off, whatever. We went, we said, fuck it, let's just go all out. We went to the Maldives. It was amazing. But when I was there, we checked in, and I was there in the wee buggy with the guy bringing us out there, wee water bungalow or whatever. And I was the way I still phrase it's kind of if I'll talk to you as I was talking to him, I said, mate, I have a really weird one for you, right? I said, this is still kind of new to me, but I've quite a few followers. Do you do gifting or anything? I'm not trying to be I'm being a chancer. Tell me to fuck off. But do you do that thing where you'll give me the free dinner and I post about it, or what's the story? And then over there, they obviously get they get the biggest influencers. Mate, you're a bum. Fuck off. You know what I mean? You're nothing. But then that's the only time I've ever even floated the question. I don't even ask. I'm just so good icked by it. But I have had a friend before when this was a friend I genuinely, because this again cringes me. A friend wanted into VIP in a club in Belfast. It's called Ollie's. It's again compared to London clubs or clubs. It's just a wee tiny bar which has a bunch of posers. But they, without me knowing, were my mate's an influencer. Can we get into VIP? And they didn't even, but this is the beauty. This is a tip for anyone. They didn't even ask a question. They said, oh yeah, on you go. And I mean, this was VIP. Paddy McNair was in there. Paddy McNair was in there, a bunch of whoever else. But this club where you couldn't get a seat, couldn't get served at the bar, they just let us in and you get served at the bar like that and had a seat. So I swear I did not do that, but that's the only other thing that comes to mind, if I'm being completely honest. When you say that, that's the only time someone's done that to my knowledge. But no, that's
what you're saying is
disgusts me.
Try and blag it and just do it with confidence.
Yeah, anyone could do it. Yeah, you could just, Adam, you could say you look like me and just pretend you're me, and then go and get it.
True. Is the beard?
Yeah,
but when he tilts his head back and they see that he's got an actual bit there, they'll know it's.
Yeah, that's what they'll do. They'll just lift it up there, and they'll just be like, "No, you're not journalist now."
Are we going to tell the story of how I stitched Az up over text?
Yeah, you did. To be fair, so obviously we're only fresh in terms of making our podcast, putting stuff out there. Go on, Marc.
So a couple of weeks ago, I was at the Six Nations, Wales, Scotland, and one of our clients from my personal job took us to like a corporate hospitality thing. So we were in there, and I was having a few drinks and stuff. And these guys like were messaging like, "Oh, how's it going? How's the day going? Whatever." And I messaged back to the group as a joke, just saying, "Someone come up to me and asked if I played Sorare," and I obviously said yeah. And then he said, "Are you so and so from the Make It a Double Double podcast?" Like that. And Az was like, "Really? Fucking hell!"
Instantly
That's
replied.
amazing.
Instantly, he's like, "Wow,
Oh my
that's
God.
incredible."
Fucking buzzing. I was absolutely over the moon that someone knew you were.
Mark just immediately replied, "No, mate, I'm just winding you up."
And the worst part was before he
Oh,
replied,
no.
I'd even turned round to my missus and gone, "Here, Hev, someone's just recognised Marc at the
Actually.
And I was just sat there like thinking, oh, that's good there to turn around and tell me. He was winding me up and no one had a clue.
That's
Oh,
meant I didn't
no.
realise you'd mentioned it to her. Though.
Yeah, I didn't tell you that bit 'cause it were already embarrassing enough.
It's unreal.
I love that. That's class. Where's he
He's
going?
away now. Too
He's
embarrassed.
going. He's had enough. He's embarrassed himself.
He's gone to get her to prove it.
Oh, where is he
What is he
actually
doing?
going? He's had
Must have
enough.
went or something.
Obviously,
Yeah, he's had
you're not
enough, yeah.
captivating enough, John. You're not captivating enough, mate.
Too captivating.
Maybe that's it. Is he too? What? Is he coming back?
It's like,
Aaron,
it's like he walked off in a trance.
where
Like,
have you gone?
You what, sorry?
Where'd you go?
I said I was going. I went, I'll be 1 second.
Yeah, unacceptable, mate. We've got
Sorry, mate.
we've got
I
a lovely guest.
apologise.
Thank you. I was just about to say, can you apologise to John? That's
apologise.
very rude. Very rude. Because literally, just as you walked off, I was about to say, "Shall we do
he's done
Sorare
it.
darts?"
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
You started a trend now.
There's no. I knew. There's no. I knew he was taking the piss. I think it's time we introduce John to Sorare darts. As
Yeah, let's do it.
do you want to explain the rules?
Yeah, so 3 players, any position, any cap, any scores, anything you want, just got to aim for 180 points. If you go over 180, you are bust, not on the leaderboard, not even a sympathy vote of being put at the bottom of it, you just scrapped off the list. Anything under 180, you will go on the leaderboard of closest to the score.
Okay.
So the only thing is, they have to be from like this weekend's round of games.
Yeah.
Usually we say like Sunday evening, but obviously we're recording now and not Sunday evening, so any game from this weekend, any 3, and they don't have to be from the same game. It can be any player from any team.
Should we do our picks first?
Should we do ours first?
Give me a
Yeah.
minute. You'll hear me clicking around the background. I have a very solid strategy, by the way.
Excited.
Right.
Do you want me to kick us off?
Go on then.
Yeah, go for it.
So I'm kicking us off with a bold prediction, actually. You'll be surprised to know. You know I love a bold prediction. My bold prediction is that Luton are going to beat Man United this weekend.
Don't think
4:30 kickoff on Sunday. Luton 2-0, and for that reason, I'm going Alfie Doughty. He's a fairly good, solid scorer anyway, and he's going to have a blinder this weekend.
Nice. So I'm going north of the border. I'm going to go to Scotland, and our friend Chris, so we're on the budget. His boys Dundee are at home to Ross County, who are near the bottom. I think they're second from bottom, other than Livingston. And I'm going to go for their skipper, one of their better scorers, but he tends to get a fair bit of decent AA for a defender. I am going to go for Big Joe Shaughnessy.
Well, remind me, I need to talk about Dundee, the mighty Blue Clarets. We'll talk about them after Sorare darts.
I have gone, before I say this name, depending on what's happened to him, I might have to say rest in peace Roy Hodgson, because he's fallen ill today.
He's not dead, though.
He was due to be, apparently he's collapsed at the training ground this morning.
Yeah, he's
collapsed?
stable in hospital. Yeah, he's stable in hospital now, they said.
Jeez.
On the day he has been sacked. So they have got rid of him today, and they went to do a press conference, but he has fallen ill this morning, so they couldn't do the press conference. The club never tweeted anything, but Fabrizio Romano announced the new manager before the club did.
So, just quickly, at 10 to 5, they tweeted, following news that Robertson was taken ill during today's training session, we can confirm that he's now stable and currently undergoing tests in hospital.
But he is sacked.
But yeah, basically everyone was saying that he's been sacked. So
Yeah. No, he has been sacked.
yeah, but
He has been sacked.
Yeah, but no one can confirm that because no one from the club said anything.
No, but,
Oh,
I mean, come on,
Fabrizio said it. He's a fucking fraud. Hey, listen,
Is he
as
bothered?
soon as David Ornstein says it, let me know.
you joking?
No, Fabrizio tweeted that Hodgson's been sacked.
Yeah, but Fabrizio was the guy, not.
Oh no, I don't rate him. I don't like him. I've blocked him on Twitter. I know it don't mean all, but
I'm sure he's got it.
I'm just sick of seeing his fucking tweets. I'm sick of seeing him on my fucking Twitter. I've not blocked him to make an impact on him. I've blocked him to make an impact on me, so I don't see his fucking shite tweets.
We're gonna get him as a guest on here now because you've ruined your relationship with him.
There's gonna be another tweet after this from John saying John Nellis does not condone anything that was said on Make It a Double.
Yeah. Oh my word.
These are the views of Make It a Double and not that of any of our guests.
Yeah, we thought we was going to get that from Sorare Data when Laird came on, didn't we? To be fair.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
There were some serious comments made on that.
Yeah, that was funny.
So because they've got a new manager, or so to speak, I think that Franca is going to be a starting player for Crystal Palace from now on. So I've gone
Matthias
with
Franca.
Yeah.
Nice. It's time for you then, John.
What do I do? Strategy. Am I giving you 3 players?
Yeah.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Now, if I had more time, I probably could have found like 3 better guys, to be honest. But I didn't think of this ahead of time. So my strategy is probably quite an obvious one, I'm guessing. I should have went for 3 goalkeepers. I'm going for 3 strikers who I expect to get 1 decisive and nothing more. And not even that I expect to get 1 decisive, but that I think there's a chance they get a 60. Because I'm going for 180. I want 180 or I want to be off the leaderboard. I don't want to get a 140 and not really be remembered. So players that I think that could shoot a 60, equally, I think if they get a goal, they're probably more likely to get like a 62 than if they all do it and bust. But there's a chance of a 60. Ivan Toney. Just that type of guy. I don't think there's much AA in the tank there. The problem is when he scores, he does typically get like a 71, 74 type of thing. But obviously, we don't have a lot of data recently on the poor guy. But if I was a betting man, I would bet that there's a chance Old Ivan can get a 60. He got a 60 a few weeks ago and he got a 66 recently.
I'd back you on that as well because we are playing Brentford away, lunchtime kickoff, and Liverpool typically do not do that well, lunchtime kickoffs.
I also just think it's a type of game that he might just get a goal and have nothing else.
Yeah.
Is there some sort of connection between Ivan Toney and gambling? By the way, what was it?
No, not that I'm aware of.
No, I thought there might have been a joke there. But...
No, there could. No, I'm not making that joke. Your view's not mine. Calvert-Lewin is the second guy. Again,
God.
I really don't expect them to do much, but I think he is for me. So what am I looking? I'm trying to look him up here just to have a check again at the scores. If we look at him historically, like if he scores 3 of the last 4 times he scored, he got a 60. Up against Palace, he might get a goal and he might shoot a 60. So Calvert-Lewin. And then the last one's more of a panic one just because you came to me. Another person I think could get a goal and potentially off a bench or something and not get much more is Jonathan David. But I think he's more likely when he scores again to shoot like a 73. So maybe he's a poor call.
Yeah, he can bang as well.
I probably need another DCL type mold. But they're my 3 strikers looking for 3 goals and nothing more. There's also a chance that 2 of them do like 75s and one of them flops. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I think like strategically this could work out nice.
That's a good
Dominic Calvert-Lewin is the bane of my life right now. My Everton stack has been scoring quite well, and all I need is McNeil to start picking up some decisives. And did you see Jack Harrison's goal at the weekend?
No.
It was a header from 2 yards because Calvert-Lewin headed it from 3 yards and headed it directly into Jack Harrison's face. couldn't score, but headed and off a McNeil cross, headed it directly
Right.
into. No, it was off of Tarkovsky knocking it back across. But I've got Tarkovsky directly into his face, and it obviously just went in. He's got so many chances that he's missed off McNeil crosses, and he's pissing me off. He's really pissing me off.
McNeil used to be a weapon as well.
I
He's
love
really...
McNeil so much.
Mm.
I'll go and get my signed picture again.
No, we've seen you.
Do you reckon
sign
do you reckon McNeil is suffering a bit from Deitch?
100%.
Yeah.
No, his best football was under Deitch at
I
Burnley.
suppose it was at Burnley, wasn't
Yeah,
he?
and he suffered a lot under Lampard.
Yeah.
So does every single player that Lampard
Yeah,
has
exactly.
managed.
He did suffer, he had obviously had a hit to his confidence the year we got relegated, like the back end of that season. But that's we were backs against the wall. He was getting absolutely nothing. But he's an absolute fucking grafter. I will always love Dwight McNeil. And the reason I mentioned Dundee earlier is because this weekend is the first weekend of the new threshold targets. And I've gone balls to the wall. Dundee, I'm going for the 390. Dundee at home to Ross County, and I've got McNeil as my forward. I'm winning it all, and I'm taking on that first big threshold watch. I'm telling you now. Now that they've struck up that marketable partnership with Burnley, me and Dundee, we're going places, mate. We're going places.
What's the payout for the max limited on?
25.
25 quid.
Which is not bad. I mean, the entire stack cost
The
me a tenner.
lowest one is just not worth it.
£2. Two quid. Nah, there's no point.
It depends on your patience, doesn't it? If you go and buy a limited team now for 20 quid, and you just go, I'm just going to hit 270 every week.
Yeah, every week for a year.
But it's if you think, do I want to earn 20 quid back in the next 3 months, or should I just go for something a little bit more interesting?
It's only a temporary measure, isn't it?
It's only till August, yeah.
And then the real Sorare happens.
And then it all gets interesting, and we'll see what happens then.
Yeah,
I'm excited, you know.
I can't wait for that new change around now. Even the March change, I can't wait for the new in-season, off-season shit.
I'm here for it.
I need that in my life.
I sold my new season Ivan Toney this week.
Yeah.
In limited. I won him a couple of weeks ago, but the new season card was going for over 30 quid in limited, and the old season card was 18 quid. So I was like, well, I'm not, unless I play the Premier League, what's it called?
Special.
Premier League special
the
thing.
in-season special,
yeah. What's the point? I might as well sell it and then just buy
Absolutely
in.
Right.
And take the money. So I started looking a bit more in depth at my gallery. In the last sort of episode, we were looking at where our gallery sat in terms of the new divisions, whether it's champions or challengers or contenders or whatever. And 90% of mine, not quite that, but quite a large portion of mine fall into contenders, unfortunately. And I started looking at my existing gallery and how I could adapt it. But then I realised that if I just throw all that out the window, look at the new tournaments, look at the teams that I want to field in August, and start at the front and work my way back, as opposed to starting at the back and working my way forward, if that makes sense. It just seems so much easier to get my head around. But like we said last time, the problem is we don't know exactly how it's going to work with the divisions and stuff. How do we know what divisions we're going into?
Well, we know a little bit more, don't we?
A little bit more.
So that new thing next, I'm assuming it was new. I saw it today and I've never seen it before.
I didn't see it in the roadmap when it came originally.
No, they actually advertised in Rare Champion how many rewards and how many boxes there will be per division, and they only advertised 4 divisions. So Division 1 was stars to tier 3, and then Division 2 and 3 were stars to tier 5s, and then Division 4 was just tier 1 to tier 5s. And then reward boxes for certain positions and stuff. But the guy who did all the working out and stuff, because the people that do all the maths on Twitter, and all you do is screenshot it and send it to your group because no one's smart enough to
take credit for it.
So that I do most of the time. And screenshotted it today, and the guy who figured it all out said this on average is something like an 11% win rate in Rare Champion when it comes about, if that's the setup. Which I don't know about you, but 1 in 10 people, if more, winning a card or a box every week or every game week seems high to me.
Surely that
Good return.
changes though, like when you take away certain competitions and things.
He upped it, so he
Oh,
had
did
it as
it? That was like
champion at the moment as 2,000 entries in rare champion or something like that. And then he said, if you take away if you have the multi-entry, if you take away the cap and things like that, he then upped it to 3,000. So we added another 50% entries onto it.
oh fair, but yeah.
So
You can have 3
11%
entries
is a
too
good
per
return.
person, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 entries in any region as such, so champion, limited, champion rare, and all that.
So you can have 3 entries in Div 1 of a region.
Potentially, you could.
Yeah.
I think you'd have to be a whale to do that because you'd need all
I was
the
gonna
different
say,
cards.
yeah.
Well, McBride was saying, and to be fair, I agree with him because this is what baffles me. Keeper prices are the lowest they've ever been.
Yeah, and they're the only thing that you can guarantee people need.
So with multi-entry, how are keepers dropping when people can now submit 3 teams? It doesn't make sense.
I saw
I
something
don't-
that like Premier League goalkeepers were rising.
Yeah,
like
so that's
the in-season like
yeah.
auctions and stuff are going up, but all the other leagues where there's not a specific league tournament are just plummeting. So like you can get like La Liga keepers for £100 that are like safe starters, whereas before the update they were £200, and it's like you
Yeah.
can now go and buy a starting rare keeper for half the price and have multi-entry rather than having players sat in academies and just build multiple teams and stuff like that. It's crazy.
It is mad. I'm excited. The more I like see stuff about the update in August and that, I'm just excited for that to come about now.
Yeah.
It still baffles me about the delivery, why they didn't just do a nice video
Insane.
like,
Yeah, that was
explaining it
insane.
properly, and like because they did one before where they had some people, I can't remember who they were, like presenting it on, and it came up on a screen and they had nice graphics and these are the divisions and how it's going to work. Was that for cap mode or something? I can't remember.
It was either basketball or baseball. It was like when that change came in.
Do you know what I think it is? And sorry, I'm buttoning on you here, Mark. I think like if I ever try and make like a tutorial or explainer video, if I went and made one on what's happened here, I think there's so many caveats and nuances to like what's changing and what's happening.
Yeah.
That for them to actually make a video and actually give finite answers on stuff, it's going to be an 18-minute video, 32-minute video, and all of a sudden it's like, oh god, TLDR, what's the breakdown? How can I read this in 2 minutes? So I think like whenever they put something like this out, they can kind of like leave a lot of it up to interpretation and let people go and work it all out and let the community do that work to explain it, if that makes sense. Whereas if they go and put out a video, if they couldn't do a 2-minute video, a 3-minute video, a 4-minute video on this. So I think that's why they probably don't bother. Not that makes it right. I think that's probably the reason.
Yeah,
that makes more sense.
that's
a
good point.
Whatever they say in that video has to be accurate come August.
Yeah, because then it's going to get taken a different way. Yeah.
So at least now they can go like on the bottom of every image. There's an asterisk that says prize is not definite or prize is not guaranteed and all this stuff. In a video, obviously you can put that up, but you're not going to physically say, and this is how the rewards will look, but we're not guaranteeing this. So, like, you're not going to say it like that. It just looks stupid, doesn't it? So I can see both sides, but it would have been nice to have a feel. I feel like they've pumped this huge game change and they've just put it in a medium post. Like, I feel like they could have done something to make it a little bit more hyped and have something that people could interact with and things like that. But yeah, I can see why they didn't, like you say.
Yeah, me too. Speaking of interacting, Mark, have you got a quiz for us?
I have.
Woo!
John, are you familiar with the game show Tenable?
I've heard of it, but no. Oh, is that like the 10? They go from like 10 to 1. You have to guess the 10 top somethings, or
lists of 10. Yeah. So it's we started off when we started doing the podcast doing a quiz, but it got a little bit stale pretty quick, didn't it? And the quiz question.
I was just too good at him.
Yeah, he was too good at them, and he showed off, and no one liked an arsehole. So
you still don't like me now.
No. So Adam came up with the bright idea of changing it slightly to tenable. So what we do is tenable. Yeah. So what we do is we've got two lists of 10. You'll go up. I'm the host this week, so you'll go up against Adam and Aaron for each list, and you just alternate between you giving us answers. You get 2 lives. Whoever loses the 2 lives first.
Ball knowledge is poor. Let's go.
So is Aaron's. You're fine.
Do you know what I'm like? I don't know if anyone else like this or if anyone listening can relate. I am so like it's actually bad because I'm so like fantasy and because I played Sorare for years. I am so like week to week, and last week doesn't matter. I'm looking at this week's fixtures and this week's lineup. See when it's done, take the rewards on to the next one. I couldn't name the last 5 Champions League winners. I couldn't name the last fucking 5 top scores of the Premier League. I couldn't tell you who won fixtures 3 weeks ago. I'm not joking. I am very much like
Well,
short
So,
term.
our round is going to be embarrassing.
Yeah, you might get one as this might,
You know
this
what?
might be the
Honestly,
week, mate.
I'm telling you, I am pissed. I am bad.
Do you know what? I've actually been quite nice this week.
Have you?
Yeah. And
What are the two questions?
usually I give you the categories and I get you to choose who you want to face in each category. But because of the categories I've picked, I am going to choose who's doing each one.
Ooh,
Right.
Okay.
So the first category, and you'll go up against Adam on this, is about Dani Parejo.
Oh my days. Okay.
What?
I love this.
The
I can't
well-known.
You're expected to know loads of information just because you've had his Sorare card for years as well. Like,
What I will
Yeah.
say,
you know his kids' names.
what I'll say on this though, if you strip it back to what it actually is, it's not that difficult to guess answers. Okay, and the category you'll go up against as is popular beers and stouts.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay.
Okay,
Just take it all the
Okay.
way away from football. Give them both a
I like
chance.
it.
Fair.
Yeah.
that's it. So you can see why I chose the people to answer these categories, right?
What list
So-
of 10?
Which would you like first, Dani Parejo or beers?
Parejo, always
Okay.
first.
So, what I would like to know is, I want to know the last 10 teams that Dani Parejo has scored against in official competition. So, discounting friendlies and shit like that.
Wow.
Oh,
So that includes La Liga, Copa del Rey, and European competition.
So we could be done
Yeah.
after 4 guesses then here, couldn't we?
Yeah, that is a tough question.
Just think of mostly La Liga teams, let's face it.
Yes, yeah, you've got a 1 in 19 chance of guessing a La Liga team as well.
who goes first?
You can go. You go first.
I remember one, and I remember he scored against Rennes recently.
Correct.
Oh God.
That was
I'm
not
honestly
his.
after this, I'm somewhat guessing.
So that was not his most recent. That was his second most recent, if that makes sense. He scored in a 3-2 win on the 14th of December last year.
I'm just getting
So-
the fact that Adam could lose one.
So what I will say now, okay, to give you a clue, because it is quite difficult, is that there's only one other non-Spanish team.
Well, that actually might help me.
Well, I mean, I'll take a punt on a team that I feel like everybody scores against, and I'll just go
Don't
for
you
it.
dare.
What?
Are you gonna say
Oh no,
yes?
I'm actually not. No, I'm actually not. Well, yeah, I'm just going to go based on someone who I feel like concedes a lot of goals in La Liga, and I'll say Celta Vigo.
Correct. So Celta Vigo is
Cancer.
technically number one on my list because it's his most recent
Okay.
goal, and that was on the 20th of December last year in a 3-2 win.
It was on the 20th of December, and you expected these boys to know the last 10 teams they scored against.
I'm just gonna guess a La Liga. This is gonna be. Oh, you only get 2 lives though, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like, what did you call it? It was a club in like their group. If you're saying only one of them, one of the other ones wasn't
Did you
in La
say
Liga.
we're including like Copa del Rey and stuff as well?
Yeah, but there's not. I don't think there's any in there. Maybe
Oh,
one.
is there not? So there's no like
No.
random third division.
Okay, so I'll give you a clue. There's one Champions League team, and then the rest are just La Liga.
They in their group there was like I might try and name the clubs from the group because I have like Theate and Omari as well and stuff. So I know like a few Ren players and I remember their fixtures. They played against a Greek team a lot. But I don't know how you say it. Is it like Panathinaikos or something? It's like a green and white badge.
Panathinaikos. So
Yes.
one thing I will say is that was in the Ren game in the
Ah.
Conference League in 2023, whereas the UCL game was.
Okay.
Oh shit, it was a Champions League one.
Well, I
year
lose a
before.
life then because I've butchered that. Your
Just
go.
give us a La Liga team, John.
this time.
Just give us a lightly.
You're being generous.
Yeah,
You're
Bill
not
Boy.
taking it on as a guess.
I'm being
Bill Boy.
generous. Sorry?
I thought Bill Boy.
Is not on the list. I'm sorry.
Oh no, and you were nice to me too.
It's basically just guess shit Spanish teams.
You know
innit?
what? Do you know
Yeah.
what? This is one of those where I was sat there today at lunch at work going, this is fucking brilliant. They're going to love this. This is class. I can't believe I've come up with it. Actually writing it down in my notes on my phone from fucking Transfer Market.
Trying
And
to think.
it's actually way harder than what I imagined, so apologies for that.
Bit of fun.
I mean, I'm gonna have to go for it just to piss Az off. Rayo Vallecano.
It's not on the list.
Is it not?
No.
Fuck, I feel like everybody scores.
Girona.
Girona is on the list.
Boom.
What?
We have a good chance here. You know, if you just keep naming them, there's a chance we're going to hit them.
Yeah. So he scored against Girona in a 2-1 defeat on my birthday, actually, 27th of September last
Bang.
year.
So what we're saying is, if Adam gets this wrong, he's lost.
Yeah.
Who's shit in Spain? Mallorca. Mallorca are shit.
Real Mallorca is on the list.
Oh
fucking
my
get in.
lord. How is he
Scored
done
in
it?
a 3-0 win last January.
Belter. Absolute.
Wow.
Fucking hell, we're going back to last January. Oh, because you just said goals, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to
Just
just score
goals.
many.
Wow.
Trying to name Spanish teams.
What do you reckon? How many goals do you reckon he gets? 4, 5 a season?
Sociedad.
Real Sociedad is on the list.
They aren't even that bad.
So I told you this was a class fucking
Oh.
game.
When did he score against Sociedad?
2nd of April last year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
2-0
knew it.
win.
I knew it. I remembered it.
Yeah. Great
I
goal.
am going
Great
to
goal.
I'm going to take an insane punt,
Oh, you're gonna go big team.
and I'm going to go not last season. I'm going to go the season before, because I'm going to go Deportivo Alaves, because they were dog shit and got relegated and came straight back up.
So, on the 6th of March 2020, they played Deportivo Alaves, drew 1-1, and Dani Parejo scored.
Is that in the last 10?
No,
Yeah, and it's in the last
no
10.
fucking way.
Oh my word.
What a
How
man.
have you done that?
Who was relegated last year? Like Espanyol and like
Elche.
Levante.
Elche and Levante. So I'm gonna pick one of them because I just feel like your relegation strategy is probably quite good. So Espanyol, Levante, or
Elche got relegated, I think.
I watched Elche play, so I have a bit of loyalty to them. I won't pick them. Let's go Espanyol.
So Espanyol is
It's
on
not a
the
no.
No, is this
4-2 win, 27th of April last year.
How many
You
are
give the strategy away. You should have just said yours. I wouldn't have got that.
So you've
Now I'm
got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's 3.
Nah, this looks constructed. We need to actually get one wrong now because this looks like we're cheating.
This looks fixed.
I
The
don't even
Beers
know
one
where
is
to-
so much easier compared to
I
this.
don't even know where to guess. I'm torn between two. I'm torn between taking a punt on their Champions League, because I feel like I remember one team. I literally don't even know if he played against them, but I feel like they were in the same group. Or do I go for someone who's conceded a lot of goals in La Liga?
The latter, I think. Do that. Try the Champions League. I know where I'm going next.
Where are you going next?
I'm not going to tell you. If I tell you, you
Okay.
can't use it.
Okay, yeah, go on. Wait, I won't tell you. I won't guess.
Levante. I'm going to just keep with the
Okay,
strategy.
so you're going with it. Okay, so I'll come away from the relegate. Fuck it, Juventus. It's the only team that I think they played against.
Okay.
You've got it.
Is on the list.
You're cheating. You're cheating. Nah, this is a fix. This is actually a fix. There's no way this guy knows this. Turn your camera around or something. I'm not buying it. No way.
No fucking
No
way.
way.
I've never been accused of cheating before. This is mint.
Levante.
Wait, how many followers does Nicholas have?
13,700.
Levante, did you say?
Yeah.
So Levante
It's going to be in it.
is not on the list, unfortunately.
Ah.
So Adam wins
Would
that
Elche
round.
have been on the list?
All I'm
No.
saying is, John
Right,
went
a second.
first.
So does that mean I've won? Or do I have to get one to confirm?
You have to get one to confirm. Oh, nah, fuck it. Let's move on.
You win.
Oh, well,
Oh,
I was going to go Valencia.
Valencia's on the list, you cheating cunt.
Oh,
Cheating?
you're a
How am I
idiot.
cheating?
He played for them for about 10 years or something.
How am I cheating? They shipped about 1,000 goals.
The only one that you didn't get was Real Betis.
Yeah, we'd have got there eventually.
That was back in 2020, so you guys did really fucking well. Fair play.
how the fuck have you done that?
I don't
Shepherds, man,
know.
you know what I mean? I got lucky big time. I can't believe Sociedad came in. I just named a team that can. I could have said Betis. I just had Real in my mind.
You named good teams. You went Sociedad and Girona.
I remembered like the Ren thing because I have like both players. So that one is the only real like not guess. Other than that, I just got incredibly lucky. Right, beers is it? Beers and stouts.
So
In fact, you say stouts.
this category against as
Stress now.
this is according to beer100.com. What are the top 10 most popular beers or stouts in Europe, and that is most sold per year?
Okay. Who goes first?
As you go first this time.
I'll let you. Oh, do you want me
Oh,
to
yeah,
go first?
okay. Yeah, go on. We always switch it.
I'm gonna go with this because I think they drink a lot of it in America, and I'm gonna go Budweiser.
Budweiser is number 6 on the list.
Ooh, I like
Guinness,
it.
because you wouldn't say and stouts if Guinness wasn't on that list.
So Guinness is on the list at number 2.
Playing the technicals.
That's a wise man right there.
Well, I had to clarify it.
I'm gonna go Stella.
Stella is on the list at number 4.
Heineken.
Heineken is number 1.
I thought you were about to tell me it's not on the list.
You two are built different here, fucking hell.
Carlsberg.
Unfortunately, Carlsberg is on the list.
Oh,
It's a terrible beer. That's why I said unfortunately.
oh yeah, it's like piss.
Oh, I've got
These
two
are
in my mind,
fine,
and they're
yeah.
both probably poor. No, I'm actually
I've got my next one locked in.
Oh no, I'm screwed. You're gonna win this. The you see in my mind just to think. No, I don't want to think out loud in case I'm giving you a hand. Corona.
So Corona is on the list.
Yes.
Fucking hell.
Number
This is an
8.
elite.
Number
This
8.
is the highest level tenable we've ever had, I think.
See, my next guess is because I feel like it's in every single holiday resort I've ever been, and it's San Miguel.
So San Miguel is not on the list.
Oh, boom.
First one down.
So how many have we got, Matt?
You've got one. You got Heineken, Guinness, Carlsberg, Stella, Corona. I think.
Budweiser.
I'm showing my phone
and-
screen
sorry.
because it looks like I was Googling, but I've 2 missed calls from the mother-in-law, so I felt like I needed to check. But I don't want to be accused of cheating here.
Sorry. And you said Budweiser. Yeah.
So Corona came in. I've got a couple in mind. Oh, I'm blank. What do you call it? No, they're not. They're not. They're huge here now, though. Birra Moretti.
Birra Moretti is a very good beer, but it's not on the list.
Oh, no.
Down to live
I think it seems to be your more common cheap stuff that's on there. So I'm gonna go, and I could be out here if this isn't right, but I'm gonna go Carling.
That's a good
Carling, another terrible beer. Let's face
is
it.
on the list.
It's not on the list.
It's not on the list. He's thrown us. I thought he'd done it.
So I win.
Oh, I thought he'd
Yeah.
done it.
I've lost again. Even when it's on the one thing I'm good at, drinking, I've lost.
I just don't think anyone that's not bold with a Bulldog England tattoo drinks Carling.
No, one of my friends does, and I don't know why. He genuinely thinks it's nicer than any like Moretti or Peretti or Peronis and all that. He's psychotic.
Peroni wouldn't be a bad guess.
Yeah, so I'll run through the list. So number 1 was Heineken. According to the website, its food pairings are grilled meats, burgers, and spicy foods.
Lovely.
Number 2 on the list is Guinness, which can be paired with.
Please don't run us through every.
No, This one is a mismatch. Though, so Guinness apparently its food pairings are beef stew, oysters, and chocolate.
Okay.
Number 3 is Carlsberg. Number 4 is Stella. Number 5 is Beck's.
Oh.
Right beer.
Number 6 is Budweiser. Number 7 is Amstel.
Oh, that's big in Germany, isn't it?
Yeah. Number 8 is Corona. Number 9 is Peroni. And number 10 is Tuborg.
When I said beer, I'm already had a thought of Peroni. If I could have got Peroni, I would have went for it instead. But
See, when you said Corona, I thought you said Peroni, so I never said it. I thought the Corona
Outrageous.
was Peroni.
It's a shame you couldn't go up
Corona,
against me for that one, Az.
Yeah, you'd have fucking cheated anyway.
I love you. Change your fucking tune now, aren't you? Adam's got great ball knowledge, but now John's come on and said, "Oh well, John said he cheated, so he must have cheated."
I mean, that Juventus gift has not come off the top of your head, so.
Well, they don't play in the Champions League that often.
I don't even know who played in the
I
Champions
tell you,
League.
hey, listen, a punt's a punt, mate. I don't know what to tell you. I got one wrong because your shite team weren't in there, were they?
Can't be that shit.
I mean, they can. He doesn't even fucking play anymore, does he?
Who?
Dani Parejo. He had DMP in that the other day.
yeah.
He's injured,
He's
isn't he?
injured. Yeah, he's
Was he injured?
Yeah. My
He
guy.
must be getting on a bit now, though.
Oh yeah, he's old enough. Yeah.
Well, that actually leads me on to my next question, John, because obviously you had your video with Dani Parejo. What would be now your you've done probably the Sorare dream. What would be the dream video now? And is there a dream guest? You don't have to say us. Obviously we know that's a given.
No, well,
But
I mean that was until today. Now that the goalposts have changed, I have to move on to a new goal, don't I?
Thank you.
The reality is here, I make content to go viral to try and get views, so it has to be Ronaldo or Messi. Although I think personally, I don't know, I'd love to do something with Ronaldinho. I just think that's growing up watching that. Was it a Total 91? Remember the crossbar thing?
The crossbar one.
Yeah, it was just so iconic. David Beckham. But yeah, I think you have to look at Ronaldo, you have to look at Messi, Haaland, Mbappe.
Yeah,
and maybe above. Meeting Zidane was insane, but again, it was just meeting him for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
If I go, I want to get my YouTube plaque signed by 10 legends. So I've got Piqué and Zidane on there now. So we'll have to
you must be the only person that's got a YouTube plaque signed by two of the greatest footballers of all time, though. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think many other people have that goal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but I think with me and Alex play a fun game now, and it's so funny. It's are they good enough for the plaque, basically? So Zidane and Piqué are on there, and obviously I want Totti and Raul and
really
you know what I mean, Figo.
Yeah.
So it's you kind of go all right, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, nah, mate. Okay,
No,
well, what about Son Heung-min?
Ooh, I think he's on the periphery.
Do you know what I mean?
He's got to be on the cusp, yeah.
You know,
but
so Peter Crouch,
so high. Crouch can't
100
club though. Do you know what Paul Scholes makes it.
Aren't you his mate now, Crouchy? I heard you mentioned on his podcast a while back.
Oh, big mates, yeah. No, not mates. I haven't actually had any direct comms, but it was fun. That was really fun. Got them the 100k. No, they got it themselves, but we.
No, Pavel Trader on one of your videos, no?
Pavel Trader what?
That one
On one of the
guessed
videos.
on one of your
I tell you
videos.
what, that'd be an achievement. That man's an enigma. You can't get through to him. There's no hope.
Can you imagine like the big reveal of Pavel Trader?
Oh,
Yeah.
Do you know what would actually be a
It's
really
all
good
right, God,
YouTube
dude.
stunt? I'm gonna do it. I might do it now. Maybe someone else will steal it before me now. But if anyone does it, you know they heard it here. Making a video basically going like Pavel Trader, but it's just your mate. You're bluffing that it's Pavel
Yeah,
Trader.
yeah.
Oh,
Everyone
yeah.
will watch it because they think it's Pavel Trader, and then Pavel Trader will come out and deny it's him, which will further promote it.
It's like a
Yeah.
Banksy thing. Like, is he just going to let it go? Do we leave the rumor?
Yeah.
Is this guy
Yeah.
Pavel
Get,
Trader?
get a mask and voice change on, so just say like he
Yeah.
doesn't want to be seen as over here, but this is Pavel Trader on my
Yeah.
and it's just your pal that has no idea.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you, John. When's David Beckham actually going to get his fucking fish and chips?
Whenever his bloody agent or someone reaches out to me, the whole like, so we went and did that and tried to give him fish and chips. I swear to God, we were like, we're going to do this. He wasn't even bloody there. So I was kind of thinking, look, we'll get this out. We'll say to be continued and we'll go and do it someday. But honestly, the comments in any of the long forms we put out there, like, when's David Beckham part 2? When's that happening? But I was kind of hoping like it would go viral enough that like someone from like Inter Miami would see it and be like, oh, we can get 10 seconds with David. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And since then, I've seen Thogdens and Ellis Plattons and all sorts out with David Beckham, and I'm like, where's my 10 seconds? Let me bring the guy fish and chips. So
that Ellis video with Beckham, that was class. I enjoyed that one.
shirt chopping thing, was it?
Yeah.
I didn't even know
I
he
like
played
that one.
Sorare. Is that the
Hmm?
one that-
Oh yeah, no, I saw his post actually. Yeah, 'cause did he
Yeah.
win? Is he winning 270?
Yeah, I didn't even know he played the game, and then he put
No,
a tweet
neither
out
did
the
I.
other day with his Sorare lineup, and like it was like finally won something on Sorare, and I was like,
Is he still?
genuinely
Yeah,
had no idea he
away
played the
days
game.
YouTube. He's still winning it now.
Hmm.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
I'm glad I was
Nice
right then,
crowds,
because
actually.
your face looked at me like I just decided to take a shit on the podcast
Yeah,
and everything when I said it.
Yeah, I was like, we're not even fucking talking about Sorare, and then I've remembered that I'd seen his tweet. So yeah, you're all right, don't
So
worry.
what's coming is an amalgamated video where John gets Messi to pretend that he's actually Pavel Trader.
Yeah, then the big reveal at the end is
Yeah.
that it's Messi. Yeah,
My actual
He
idea,
signs the plaque.
if I actually ever get Messi, my grand plan, I won't get Messi, so but I mean, if I get like a really well renowned Zidane or something, you know, like any player that's a huge that I don't speak the same language as, I'm gonna try and do like an interview for like 10 minutes, however long I have them. But I'm only gonna give myself 1 week to prepare in a foreign language. So I'll be sitting down with Zidane being like, what do you like to do at the weekend with your friends?
Yeah.
And
Right.
it'll be the most awkward shit
Yeah.
interview ever.
I never thought this would happen. You have brought me on to the nichest thing that I have an interest in. And it's people that learn languages like that. So there's a guy called Daniel Tammet who is a savant for languages. So he's like really high functioning autism. Like I think he's got Asperger's. And he knows, I think it's like 10 languages fluently, but it's just ones that like they have to like resonate with him or whatever it is. And he knows like Lithuanian, Estonian, Esperanto, like all sorts of mad languages. And he got set a challenge to learn enough Icelandic, which is regarded as like the hardest language to learn, enough Icelandic to go on to a talk show in Iceland and just chat. And he did. Like he's the maddest guy. He's recounted pi to 22,500 digits, like to the point where apparently it inspired a Kate Bush song. That's what I was reading.
Wow.
The guy's he's so interesting. I remember learning about that in psychology, and that is literally the only thing in my psychology A level that ever stuck with me. So you could be the football world's version of Daniel Tammet, John.
You need to
Yeah.
sign
That's a
him
new
up.
aspiration you
Train
never
you
thought
up
you'd
for
have.
a week.
This is it. You need to get in touch with him, say, how do you do it? He can
Yeah.
teach you.
Do you know what would be
Yeah.
good is if you were interviewing someone like in a different language or whatever, and someone who was fluent in that language was in your ear telling you what to say, but they could stitch you up. They could stitch you up at any moment,
That's
so they
risky,
could.
that.
You're not sure exactly what you're saying.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good opportunity to collaborate with like a humongous Spanish creator or something. or have like if you got like Sergio Ramos, have Jared Piqué in your ear, or like whatever.
Yeah.
You know, have one of their old teammates like stitch that. That's fun. That's actually a really good idea. Might do that. Get
There you go.
Suarez
Look,
to stitch Messi up.
Hey,
Marc's always been the ideas, man.
you remember Rio Ferdinand's "You Just Got Murked"? That sort of thing. Mate, I'm taking
never
credit
thought
for
I'd
that,
hear
and
you
it's
say
going to
that
be
sentence.
"You Just Got Marked."
She's got my
Look at the heads in the hands.
I'm taking notes. I'm here like, yeah, this is good shit. Yeah.
Hey mate,
just
we're
got
we're
marked.
ideas
the same
people.
level as Cleany, that.
That's the
That's
thing.
worse. That's way worse than
Yeah,
Cleany.
that's worse
That's
than
way worse. Yeah.
That's the thing with this podcast. We have 100% ideas, 0% execution.
Yeah, yeah, that's very true. That is
but at
very
least we're
true.
thinking.
It's a thinking man's game.
Right,
But I
so,
think
I've got one more question before we go.
there you go.
And would you be ever interested in attending the Sorare Sevens?
Oh,
Ooh, that's a
absolutely.
good
I
question.
really wanted to go last year. I'm not going to lie. Last year, when was it last year again? July?
July, yeah.
July, yeah.
So I took again. When is it this year?
Same again.
We're doing
July.
we're doing Scotland in April, and then we're doing Nottingham again in July.
Scotland in April is probably more likely. I think the thing with me again is whenever I talk about this, I hate it because it sounds so like it's a job, because it's not. It's like the dream job and it's what I want to do. But for me, I know the Euros is going to be huge, and I know I'm going to be not stopping for that month. And I know like the seasons, you don't get breaks. So for me, I'm like 14th of July to the 14th of August pre-Premier League. I'm off. I'm probably going away
you
for
can't
3
commit
weeks.
to anything.
I'm just gone. Do you know what I mean? And it's like I'll go away with my family for a couple of weeks, go away with my girlfriend's family for a couple of weeks. I'll come back, I'll chill out for a few days and have a barbecue, and then I'll just get back at it. But it's like July, maybe, but April could well happen. I'd love to.
7th of April, the Scotland
7th of
Falkirk
April.
Stadium.
Well, now that
It
you
should be a
brought it
good
up,
day. It should be a good day. We've got loads of guys from the community come in. McBride's
I'll be
bought
there.
about 7,000 tickets, and he's giving them away, isn't he? And
Class.
yeah,
Sarah on the budget's coming. Loads of guys coming. Quinny's doing hopefully doing a sort of a live thing for us, isn't he, in the evening?
Class.
yeah.
So
Neighbour
it's
with his
going to be good
crossbar
crack. And
challenge.
to be fair, like the way we do it, it's a kick around and some beers. Like that's
Yeah,
that's
true.
that's how we do it. It's not like it is a so rare event, but it's a kick around and beers with some like-minded people, and you can win some fucking good prizes. And speaking to Mo this week, we got loads of so rare merch. Some of which we can't say because we're not 100% sure if we're getting it, but it's stuff that's not necessarily available. Also, signed shirts, match tickets, all that sort of stuff. They're giving us to give away, so it's going to be a sick event. So there's still some tickets available if anyone's
if you
listening.
were holding out because you didn't want to run into me, there is now a much higher likelihood that I will not be able to attend Sorare Sevens now, as a result of the last Sorare Sevens, because I've already told you boys, but I now officially need surgery on my knee from when I injured my knee at Sorare Sevens.
Oh wow.
So I went to see a
ACL
specialist.
and meniscus or something?
It's worse, mate. It's even worse. So it's a full ACL reconstruction and then something called an extra articular tenodesis, which apparently my knee is so unstable that they need to take a giant part of the tendon and basically just wrap it round my knee to stop the laxness of my knee. I've made the mistake of Googling it and looking at pictures. It looks fucking horrendous.
Are they doing anything for the hypochondria as well?
No, that's terminal.
No,
That is terminal. Yeah, the hypochondria is terminal, unfortunately.
Fuck
off, I've torn my ACL, you know better.
I did send you that message, didn't I, before Sarah Sevens to say that we have no insurance and you're on your own.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
you did.
Okay, just checking.
Just quickly, the irony, the hypocrisy of Aaron to be like, "Oh, you hypochondriac." The way you were limping about, you were like, "Oh, I've pulled me groin. I didn't realise you had two groins." you had a bit of fucking sunburn, mate. You had a bit of fucking sunburn. Grow up. Not having it.
Catch on a Thursday evening, that.
You can fuck off. You can fuck off. Well, I think that's a great way to round us off for the podcast. Anything else you boys want to mention before we go?
Not really. Just want to say thanks to John for taking the time.
Always a
to
big
come on.
thank you. Yeah, what a lovely Thursday afternoon.
And
Not at all.
I hope you've enjoyed yourself enough that you might come back someday.
Oh, I'd love to. Thanks a million for having me, boys. Appreciate it.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Wish you all the
Thank you,
best
Tom.
with it, and sure, maybe I've written it down there. I'm gonna throw it in the old diary, and it might show up at Sorare Sevens to nutmeg some people.
Yeah, Haber, he loves getting nutmeg.
Haber's the one that got nutmeg last time. So
I always get nutmegged.
Absolutely.
So now I overcompensate and try and nutmeg everyone, but nutmeg no one. Anyway.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I will speak to you boys next week. It's been an absolute pleasure. Enjoy the rest of your evenings. But for
Cheers.
now, bye everyone.
Cheers,
See ya.
boys.
Goodbye.
Cheers.